So with the special maps reworks, there have been unintended consequences for mission quests. Now, as I've completed all the mission quests, these don't really apply to me, but a fair few amounts of the mission quests are basically now impossible because of the mini reworks of the special maps, including one that's currently in this recirculation right now, Hazardous Haste. The first mission quest that is broken is the one with the Badlands Ranger skin. Basically, for this one, you need to defeat 1,000 enemies with the Ranger. Okay, that's fair enough. And deal 1,000,000 damage in Badlands 2, and then triumph Badlands 2 with the Ranger Tower twice. Now, I believe the 1,000,000 damage in Badlands 2 isn't actually affected here, but the triumph Badlands 2 with the Ranger Tower thrice, that is the quest that is actually broken. Now, I believe this is broken, but this is something to do with the map reworks and how they are now counted by the game. Because for some reason, Badlands 2 no longer appears in the index, those Polluted Wastelands 2 does. Jesus Christ, you can see the amounts of losses I got in Polluted Wastelands 2. That is quite a lot. But in any case, Badlands 2 isn't the only map like this. For example, Pizza Party also doesn't appear here, despite the fact that I do have 20 wins from it because I have the What's the Fox logbook back when it was 5% drop rates. But Polluted Wastelands 2 doesn't appear here for some reason, though if you check out all of the triumphs, you'll see that none of the game modes here are complete. And this is what I think is happening with the mini rework and the mission quests. So when the maps are being reworked, they are no longer conforming to traditional game mode things. They are their own special game modes now. And because of glitches with special mode maps or special maps, they usually count for other events triumphs and other game mode triumphs. However, in a patch, they probably recently fixed that. So if it specifically says Badlands 2 on, let's say, Legacy Fallen mode, because that's what it used to use, then it would only count for a triumph for that, aka something for like the Mysterious Drifter for Badlands 2. However, with the new update of Badlands 2 to a completely new different game mode that is special, not Legacy Fallen mode based, you know, at its core, it's like Fallen mode based, but not exactly. It therefore has glitched out the contract for the objective for the Badlands Ranger skin, and therefore means that it doesn't progress correctly, nor does it track the Badlands 2 triumphs correctly. Now, it's not necessarily because it's the Ranger's fault, it's because it's Badlands 2's fault, because this glitch only occurred after the Badlands 2 mini rework, aka giving credence to the idea that it is because the mini rework has somehow messed around with the special game modes and the tracking of triumphs in these maps. Now, this doesn't affect most other mission quests. For example, the Slayer Shotgunner skin, it has a Triumph Infernal Abyss on multi-mode with the Shotgunner twice. This is actually fine, and the same is for the Chance of Drizzle for the Railgunner Ranger skin. You can triumph hardcore mode on Unknown Gardens with the Ranger once, and that will be completely fine. But I already mentioned this in the start of this video. The other skin that is glitched is the Accelerator, the Hazard Accelerator skin. Now, the first quest is to deal 750,000 damage with the Accelerator, and then deal 75,000 damage with the Accelerator in a single match. Okay, these are fine. Triumph hardcore mode with the Accelerator twice. Again, that's also fine. But the main issue here is triumph Polluted Wastelands 2 with the Accelerator twice. Now, beating Polluted Wastelands 2 twice is already difficult in itself. Let's not forget, Polluted Wastelands 2 is now significantly more difficult. And if you don't have any friends or anyone to play with, then you're going to have to matchmake. And matchmaking for Polluted Wastelands 2 is like a nightmare. You have people bringing a farm. You have people bringing no hidden detection whatsoever. I know this because it took me 50 triumph losses to actually get to beat Polluted Wastelands 2. People have said that the Accelerator is not a good tower of Polluted Wastelands 2, but for this quest, you're going to have to bring it. I wouldn't necessarily disagree that Polluted Wastelands 2 is not suited for the Accelerator. The range circles are adapted to the Accelerator's ranges because it was made back in the day when the Accelerator's range with Max DJ booth was considered. But in any case, only one person needs to place down the Accelerator in the first place. That could be you, given the fact that if it's you requiring the quest, then you can just easily do it yourself. However, as mentioned previously for Badlands 2, because it's been mini reworked and it's now on a completely different game mode, a special game mode, I think that has broken the contract and therefore means that triumphing Polluted Wastelands 2 isn't being tracked correctly. Now, obviously, they aren't completely broken. It's just that the objectives are broken. Therefore, if you used to use Robux to skip the mission contract, you would be able to actually complete the Hazardous Haste contract and get the Nuclear Accelerator skin. So technically, it's still obtainable. It's just that you cannot get it for free without the use of Robux. And people with the contract are now stuck with the contract. You can cancel it, but this is obviously not advantageous to many people, given the fact that the contract costs coins to start off with. So, for example, the Hazardous Haste contract costs 1,500 coins, and the reward is only 2,200 coins. If you abandon it to do another quest that is actually possible, and you were to redo the Hazardous Haste quest, you are actually down 800 coins, even if you get the Nuclear Accelerator skin and the 400 EXP. It's the same for the Badlands 2 Ranger skin. It costs 1,000 coins to start, and you only get 1,250 coins. So if you were to abandon it, you would be down 750 coins if you were to redo it at a later date when it's actually fixed. Therefore, a lot of people have, like, theoretically soft-locked themselves with the contract because they can't complete it. I wouldn't say it's soft lock because with the previous description where soft lock was used, the firework technician, you actually did soft lock yourself because you couldn't abandon it nor could you cancel it with that contract. Meanwhile, for this, you can abandon it and you can buy Robux to actually get it. Therefore, you haven't really soft locked yourself. It's just that emotionally you soft locked yourself because you don't want to abandon it nor do you want to cancel it, nor do you want to buy any Robux for it, even if you have the means of getting the Robux. So that's my advice. Right now, don't beat or complete the Mistress Drifter contract for Badlands Ranger skin, nor beat the Hazardous Haste contract for the Nuclear Accelerator skin, because these are currently impossible through the objectives provided to you. And I might as well mention it here in a video about broken mission contracts, not because this is broken, but because of a typo, because they haven't updated it. So for the Fallen Sledger skin, it was to Triumph Fallen mode twice with the Sledger equipped. However, in-game it says it requires 2 Fallen mode king kills. However, this is not actually the case because the objective actually tracks Fallen mode triumphs. Now, before we implore the developers to fix these contracts and criticize them for taking forever to fix them, let's not forget that not very few people have actually noticed this. So only the people that are doing the contracts have noticed it, and because testers, they're not the ones looking for every single thing that can break with the game modes. It's really hard to pick up, and only now have I gotten like a significant amount of reports of it, so to make a video on it. Let's not forget, there's also a long-standing issue with mission contracts, where with towers that require to be placed down, for example, the Shotgunner skin for the Slayer Shotgunner, where you need to complete a quest on the Triumph Infernal Abyss on multi-mode with the Shotgunner twice, there is a long-standing glitch where you don't need to be the person that plays down the Shotgunner, someone else can place down the Shotgunner. So for example, this quest to count as completed, only one player needs to place down the tower. If placed down, Triumphing will count as completing the description for every player, not just the person that placed it down. Now, this actually makes it so much more easier to complete some mission quests, especially if they require hardcore mode. So for example, for the Tech Technician, Triumph hardcore mode in Cyber City with the commander once. That means one person only needs to bring the commander. Not everyone needs to bring... You personally don't need to bring the commander. If you're not used to bringing the commander, then you don't need to bring it. But if there are 3 people that require the Tech Technician quest on the final objective, Triumph hardcore mode in Cyber City with the commander once, then what you can easily do is have one person bring the commander, just play hardcore mode like always, except maybe instead of bringing the DJ booth that everyone seems to bring the commander. And I just realised there is actually one more quest where the contract could be broken. It is Pizza Party for the Unworld Warden. So the first one, defeat 150 enemies with a hidden attribute using the Warden, then stun enemies 1,200 times with the Warden. Then from the third objective is where things get techie, Triumph Pizza Party twice with the Warden placed down, and then Triumph 2 Pizza Party matches with 15 Wardens placed down. Now, I haven't got any reports on this that I can see in my Discord channel, but I actually believe that this quest was actually fixed. Back in February, there was people saying that the Underworld Warden quest was broken because it wouldn't track objectives 3 and 4 correctly. It's just that seemingly towards the end of January or the start of February, the Underworld Warden skin or contract was actually fixed so that it tracked the Pizza Party matches correctly. So they've seen this glitch happen before with Pizza Party. It's just that they forgot that there's a Badlands skin for the Ranger and the Nuclear Accelerator skin, which needs triumphs for the special mats which aren't being tracked correctly. So I'd imagine once this is brought to their attention, they'll quickly fix it. So hopefully this video reaches them very pronto. Do bear in mind that they do actually watch my videos. Developers, hi. Could you fix this for the community, please? Thank you very much.